All right, so today's video is about a fellow by the name of Black Pigeon Speaks. He made a video called Why Atheism is Vacuous Grandiloquence. And grandiloquence. Thanks for teaching me that word, by the way, Black Pigeon Speaks. I'd never heard that before, or if I had, it never really sunk in. Maybe I thought they were saying grand space eloquence, but now I realize, oh, grandiloquence, that's a word. Thank you. I like learning new words. And I guess I should start by talking about Black Pigeon Speaks as a person. Not as a person, because I don't know him as a person. I should talk about his YouTube channel. I've seen a few videos from it. Production values, pretty reasonably nice looking. Presentation style, he's got it. You know, there's a reason the guy has a following. There's a reason he has subscribers. He's doing a good job in that department. Argumentation, from my perspective, it's a bit lacking, honestly. Like this video, for instance, and I'm not going to show any clips from the video. It's just not the kind of video you can cut up and refute point by point. You kind of have to take the whole thing in. So if you want to watch it, the link is down below. Go ahead and give him some views. I don't give a shit. He's not a bad guy or anything. It starts with him basically admitting that humanity is insignificant in the universe, and that it's very reasonable to look at the circumstance we find ourselves in and say, oh, there's probably not a God looking out for us and giving a shit about how we all behave, because we're basically on the cosmic scale of things bacteria. We're a species that survives on part of the surface of a tiny little minuscule planet tucked into an arbitrary galaxy out of countless galaxies. And for all we know, there's countless universes. So we're not significant. It's a bit ridiculous to think that the creator of the universe takes a special sort of look at us and says, "Ooh, you know, these are the creatures that that I'm fascinated by. This is my ultimate creation. These fucking primates on this fucking rock in the middle of fucking nowhere in the vastness of the cosmos." I mean, it doesn't make a whole lot of fucking sense. And he admits that. And he says that the major problem with atheists is that they only argue against religion from philosophical and scientific perspectives. And they don't argue against it from a social perspective. And his entire argument basically hinges upon the idea of religion as a social adhesive. He feels that in the absence of Christianity, Islam has risen. In the absence of the stabilizing force of tradition in our lives, it's left this big vacuum that is being filled with you know, Islam, basically. Now, to me, the Islam thing, that is a separate issue from Christianity. Islam, the reason that Islam is rising in the West is because of immigration issues, culture clashes. It has nothing to do with, oh, Christianity declined and then that made room for Islam. There's already a ton of Christians and a ton of Muslim people, and yeah, when they get together in one area, they tend to clash because their belief systems are incongruent with each other. Atheism, though, is not the tool that swept Christianity away and then gave rise to Islam. Islam was rising on its own. Christianity has been declining on its own. There's a reason that Christianity is in decline. I didn't do it. Atheists didn't do it. It started to decline because of its own obsolescence. It started to decline because more and more people were looking at this book of ancient fairy tales and saying, this doesn't really seem like the truth. This doesn't really seem like an accurate depiction of reality as I understand it. You even have a part in your video, Black Pigeon Speaks, where you say that atheists like me, us smug, fedora-wearing atheists, we refute some Bible passages and then we say, aha, we won because we proved that the Bible is bullshit. And you say that, oh, well, who cares? Doesn't matter because most Christians don't even believe that shit anyway. It's not even significant. The vast majority of Christians disregard it. Well, I happen to have in my pocket here some statistics. Ha ha ha. Ever heard of those? Look at this. This is from Gallup. 28% of people in America believe that the Bible is the actual Word of God and is to be taken literally, word for word. That's 1 in 4 people. It's actually a little more than 1 in 4 people believe that the Bible is the literal, inerrant Word of God. That means they believe in the flood and the snake and the talking fucking donkey and bears devouring children for making fun of a bald guy, shit like that. 47% of people say that the Bible is the inspired Word of God, but not everything in it should be taken literally. So 47% of people are just cherry pickers. And then 21% of people say that the Bible is an ancient book of fables, legends, history, and moral precepts recorded by man, which is the truth. So you have a circumstance where 28% of people believe the lie completely, 47% of people believe the lie, but not all the way. And then a mere 21% of people actually recognize the truth. And you're advocating for that. You're advocating that that's a better way to be. Because you view Christianity as some stabilizing force. And I'll grant you that perhaps in some instances, Christianity has been a stabilizing force. But what you're really trying to do is you're doing the same thing Trump did. Make America great again. We need to go back to the past. We've made some mistakes. We need to press the reset button. We need to go backwards in time. Guess what? The past is over. Christianity died for a reason. I mean, it's not dead. But Christianity is dying for a reason. And this rosy picture that you paint of the Christian religion as this, oh, there's a part in your video, for instance, where you show this happy family strolling by the lake, and you say, this is what atheists are really against. They're against family. How do you know that family is Christian? How do you know that's not an atheist family? Turning back, though, to the idea of Christianity as this great institution that's just the glue that was holding society together until us horrible atheists came along and just ruined everything. I am a prominent YouTube atheist. I receive a lot of messages from people who are religious, growing up in religious households. Some of them are gay. Some of them are transgender. Some of them are just people who just don't believe. They can't believe. When they're presented with, this is the truth, they say, it doesn't really seem like it to me. I don't see any evidence for this. This doesn't make sense. Why would I believe this? And for that, their families kick them out or force them to go to church or convince them that you're just having a crisis of faith, or try to convince them, you're just having a crisis of faith. We all have our doubts. You know, just put them aside and just fucking believe in Jesus that much harder. And the interesting thing about that is, I get Muslims writing me from Saudi Arabia, from Iran, from Qatar, from all over the Muslim world, telling me that they've seen my videos, telling me that they're atheists. They can't be open about it because their societies are way more intolerant of atheism than the West is. But it's happening there. The erosion has already begun of Islam. You think that Christianity is the only religion that atheism could ground down? That Christianity is the only religion that atheism is useful against? You're wrong. It's useful against Islam too. And yeah, they're a little bit more primitive. They're a little bit more backwards. They're a little bit more willing to use violence. At least right now they are. There was a time when Christians would burn you for being an atheist. There was a time when they would declare you a witch or a Satan worshiper and burn you at the stake, or throw you into a river, or cut off your head, or hang you or draw and quarter you or whatever. There was a time when to denounce God was your life. That cost your life. That was Christianity. It's not anymore. Right now it's Islam that will do that. But if Christianity could go through reform, if Christianity could change, then Islam could change. But ultimately, my goal personally is not to make them change. My goal is to get rid of them. And you say that all that leaves people with is nihilism. And all that leaves people with is cultural relativism. Well, I am a nihilist. I don't really consider myself a cultural relativist. I'm just a relativist in general. But what about all the atheists who are humanists? What about all the secular humanists who make love for their fellow man their religion? What about them? They haven't given in to nihilism. They haven't given in to saying it's all meaningless, it doesn't matter, it's pointless. Even I haven't done that. I do think it's meaningless. I do think it's pointless, but I still do things. I still try. I still care about issues. I still give to charity. I still have compassion for other people. I'm not saying I'm a saint, because I'm clearly fucking not, but I still care. And it's not because there's some objective reason to care. It's because I found within myself subjective reasons to care. Because I'm a human being, and I want to see my species prosper. I want to see them live up to their true potential. And guess what? Christianity and Islam, those are both holding back the true potential of humanity. You know, and the true potential of humanity is not a nice little stable society where there's nothing scary, where there's no problems. My ideal is a fucking future where people can speak their minds freely, can debate ideas openly, and no one's going to kill each other over it. Maybe we can passionately disagree about things. I don't think humanity needs to put the fucking training wheels back on the bike, is what I'm saying. Christianity is the fucking training wheels. That's the training wheels of Western society. We don't need those anymore. Cut them off. We can ride on two wheels. Yeah, sometimes it might be a little shaky. Maybe sometimes we even fall down and need to get back up and keep on fucking riding. You know, you evoke the idea that we need to, even if we don't actually believe in a God, we still need the traditions of Christianity. We still need the trappings of Christianity. We need the church to bring us together and to keep us united ideologically, to basically create ideological purity. We need homogeny of thought, in your opinion. We don't need homogeny of thought, in my opinion. We need diversity of thought. But we also need to learn to tolerate that diversity of thought. That's the diversity that really matters, by the way. A lot of these PC liberals and SJW types, they want to tell you that the diversity that matters is racial or gender-based. No. The diversity that really actually matters is a diversity of thought, a diversity of ideas, a diversity of opinions, and the ability of people to tolerate those opinions from one another and to talk them out and to discuss them in a reasonable fashion and come to some sort of consensus, maybe. But this species, we need to move forward. We don't need to move back. Because moving back, that's a recipe for fucking failure. You can't force society to be the way it once was. I don't even know what time period you're trying to get back to, because if you look through the pages of history, yeah, Christianity has been a stabilizing force sometimes, but it's never been what you claim it is. It's never been this thing that just kept everything running smooth. Everything was fine, and then the narrative you seem to go with is everything was fine, everything was normal, everything was cool, then atheism came, wrecked Christianity like a fucking wrecking ball, which is not how it happened. And then, rise of Islam. And then, us atheists are just like, nope, not going to fuck with Islam because we're too scared. We're not too scared. We're willing to take on their bullshit, just like we were willing to take on the bullshit of Christians. And if a few of us get beheaded or killed or shot or stabbed, you know what? That's just part of the fucking game. It's not about any one person or any one person's life. It's about the progress of fucking society. I don't understand this idea that Christianity is just this perfect angel that's done such good things for us when so many people have left this religion because they couldn't fit into it. They tried. They honestly tried, but they couldn't because it's just too fucking repressive. It's too stupid. And yeah, I will say that people who believe it are deluded, and I will say that people who believe it are stupid, because it is delusional and stupid at this point in our history, for the reasons you outlined in your very video. For people to go around thinking, yep, there's a God and he cares about me, and you know, he's looking out for me. I mean, it's a fucking lie. And you obviously recognize it as a lie. You say you're an agnostic theist, but you're not. I know based on what you said at the beginning of that video, you don't believe in fucking God. You just think that, oh, it's a nice little social adhesive. It keeps people together. It keeps us holding hands and singing Kumbaya with each other. Well, it doesn't do that. It doesn't accomplish that. It tears people apart. It sets people against the truth. Why do you think there's so many people in this country who deny evolution? Why do you think there's so many people in this country who put no stock in science, who put no stock in actual reason and evidence? It's because of religion, all right? Not just Christianity, religion in general. You know, I would like to say that even as a misanthrope, I have a brighter view of humanity than you do. Because I don't think that people need lies and delusions to control them. I don't think people need to be told, yeah, if you're a bad boy, you're going to go to hell for all time. Or if you're a good boy, you get to go to heaven and praise Jesus for all time. You know what? The truth is that when Hitler blew his fucking brains out, his life was over. He didn't go to hell. He didn't meet Satan. He didn't get his ass jabbed with a pitchfork. He just died. He didn't get punished for all his evils. And all the good people in the world, they don't get rewarded for fucking being the good guys. You get a life, you live it, and the only thing, and once it's over, it's over. There's nothing else there. At least there's no evidence to suggest there is. Even if there is an afterlife, it's probably nothing like what's described in the Bible. It's probably nothing like anything described in any of our religious texts. But there's no reason to believe there is an afterlife. Yeah, there is the problem of consciousness. You're right about that. We can't fully explain consciousness. But it does appear to be something that derives from the physical properties of the brain and the body and the central nervous system. Yeah, we don't understand exactly how it comes into being. We don't have all the answers. But that's just a God of the gaps argument. That's just saying, okay, well, wherever there's ignorance, that's where we stuff God. Sorry, that's intellectually dishonest. You know, it's like, oh, well, you know, since we can't 100% prove that this Bronze Age mythology isn't true, we have to respect that it might be true. No, we don't. We can attach a probability to that, and the probability is low. Now, I don't want to fucking sit here and chew your ear off all day. There's probably more aspects of your video I could criticize. But the central premise that religion is useful as a social adhesive, yeah, maybe it once was, but it died off for a reason. And the idea that we need to be beholden to tradition is just silly. Us fucking wearing a bunch of stupid robes and chanting a bunch of stupid shit and going, oh, man, that doesn't do anything for us. That doesn't do jack shit for the human species. You know what does do jack shit for us? Finding common ground. Finding new ideas, finding new approaches, improving technology, improving life for people on Earth. That's what matters. Moving forward, making sure that everyone has the essentials of life, has food, has clothing, has shelter, has education, has an ability to pursue their interests. And maybe one day, we even live that science fiction utopian ideal of spreading out throughout our solar system and then perhaps to other parts of our galaxy. Maybe that could be a reality. I don't know. But I do know that the way I don't know how to get you there. I don't know how to get us from where we are now to Star Trek. But I do know the way not to get there, and that's to go back to the fucking tit of Christianity and be, ooh, Christianity, we missed you so bad. Look, right now there is a huge disparity between the quality of your videos in terms of how entertaining they are, how they look, and the ideas actually being presented, because you're stepping forward like, you know, B+ presentation with F- material, and that's just a recipe for shit. I'm sorry, it doesn't matter how slick you make it. It doesn't matter how many sesquipedalian words you fucking toss people's way. It doesn't matter how grandiloquent your argument is, because that's just not enough. It's very ironic. You describe atheism as being vacuous grandiloquence when this video is vacuous grandiloquence. It's you trying to make this big, flashy argument for a really bad idea. An idea that we need to go backwards. An idea that we need to regress. We need to be like we used to be. We need to re-embrace the values of Christianity and the traditions of our ancestors, because that's when we were at our best. I'm sorry, that's not when we're at our best. We're at our best when we're independent thinkers who respect new ideas and challenge the status quo, not just accept it. Right now, you're just trying to, I mean, you are challenging the status quo, but you're really just trying to reset it to a previous version. You're just trying to say, okay, less Islam, more Christianity, and then everything will be fine. Well, what happens when the Christians start persecuting the homosexuals? What happens when the Christians start going around challenging scientific fact? What happens when the Christians start governing based on their religious values that are not based in logic or reason or evidence? What happens then? I'll tell you what happens then. You end up just repeating history. Yeah, maybe you get there. Maybe you build Christianity back up. Well, you know what happens? It falls the fuck again. The same fucking way it fell last time. Through its own obsolescence. Through its own stubborn refusal to change. And just through the fact that people can see it's bullshit now. Anyone who gives a shit about evidence is going to dismiss Christianity like that. They don't care, you know. Who the fuck is going to say, you know what, you have no evidence that anything in this book is the truth, but it seems like it brings people together, so I'm all for it. That's a stupid way of looking at the world. You're basically trading individuality and reason for tradition and conformity. Not good. These are not good values, my friend. These are not good things to be preaching. These are not good things to be taking to people and saying, this is my ideas about the world. I think we need to fucking press the reset button. Go back to some previous incarnation. No. We don't need to build a bridge to the past. We need to build a bridge to the future. Take the training wheels off the bike. I'm the amazing atheist. I blathered long enough. Peace the fuck out.